Hey there, Munchie Mafia. So today we are going to be making a Italian American stew called Cioppino. So let's get to it. Okay, so I had forgotten to peel all of my garlic, like a dumbass that I am, and I don't know why my dog is barking, but now the puppy's barking. I swear, I think that the puppy has been raised by hounds or something, because that's not a normal Tibetan Spaniel barking. So how are we doing tonight? We got a whole bunch of newbies in our thing, and I got the wrong glasses. I guess I'm gonna have to just take those off. So we got let's see here. We have Alice Adams and London Rubley said that they cannot be here because it's too late, but sends their regards. So thank you so much for your support. Let's see here, we got Greg Johnson and the onesies. Yay, onesies! I'm sure you're probably gonna be like, Daddy, can you make that for us? And I'm gonna be like, Tiger, sorry, not sorry, man. You're just gonna have to just deal with it because it's like this is actually inspired by my onesie women. So yay, I want to see him make this. I really do. So please get video of it. I want to see it. And then we have some new folks in tonight. She cooks and roasts. You definitely have to go and check out her channel. She's got like the most amazing vibe going on her channel. Oh, stop it already. So, hoping that stop. Why? Oh my God, my tongues are broken. Most amazing vibe. You gotta go check her out. She's got like, I wish I even had 1/10 of that. Stop it. I'm like just the most okayest chef, but she's like freaking amazing. She's funny as you know what. So anyway, go check her out. Let's see here. Then we also have David Bennett. Hey there. Say hi to Pam for me. And we got Anthony and I can't read without my bifocals. I'm trying very hard. I'm getting old, you know, that old thing sucks, you know. Oh, and Food Boat. Don't forget to go and check out Food Boat too. He just put up a little video on how to fillet a fish by Chef Reggie. So go check him out. All right, so we're gonna start off with, I'm gonna introduce you to some of the ingredients. We've got some of these big badass oysters right here. I'm gonna show you how to shuck one of these bad boys. So let me find my towel. Just lost my towel. Oh, I hung it up. All right. Okay. Yes, please go and sub to her. Please, 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 please. Her energy is just infectious. It's like the first time I watched her, I was like grinning ear to ear. It's like my head was hurting afterwards. It's like, oh my God, she's so funny. I really wish I had half the energy. Even 1/10 would even be great. I know sometimes I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but here we go. We're gonna try this again and make sure that I don't spit it out all over my cabinets, right? Oh, that's rough. Okay, so we have an oyster here, and they're huge. They're huge ass mofos. I mean, that thing fits in the palm of my hand. Saw them at the grocery store. Was really upset that, you know, we're just not bougie enough out in the middle of nowhere to be able to buy ourselves fresh clams and mussels. You know, I was really pissed off that I could not find pancetta. So we're gonna have to just make do with sausage. Okay, so first off, let's shuck some oysters. Oyster 101. You got like the pretty frilly dome side, and then you got a flatter side. We're gonna put flat side up. Face down and ass up, as I would always say. Wash them really good before doing this. Now, I don't like sticking things in my hand and shucking them. The reason being is that I've stabbed myself in the hand before, and it sucks because then it got all infected, and so I ended up missing 3 weeks worth of work because of that. So what I use is a Mercer oyster knife. I don't know if you could see that, but it's kind of curved. This is my preference. I like the curved blade the most. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it down on a towel to help stabilize it, so it's not all wobbly and stuff. And you know, we don't want it to send me to the emergency room. And then we're going to go and look in this point area for an area where we could just kind of pry it on in there. Now, don't do this when you're in a hurry, because this is what happens, that sort of thing right there. Gotta just find where the hinge is, and we're going to stick it in there. You can actually feel where it's sticking in. Whoops, one goes too far. And then you twist, and it pops. It's open when it pops. Just go in and just kind of tease it a little bit. Tell it it's pretty, whatever. Now these ones are growing oysters. That's what these are good for. Now we're going to just spin it around and just kind of just gently tease it out until that first mussel says, okay, I give up. And it screams its safe word. Just keep going. My sausages are back there. Where's Teresa when we need her? Teresa! Just try to manifest that. Teresa, sausages. We got sausages. All right. Why do you hate me? Oh my God. Okay, there we go. And it should release with a little bit of force. And there we have it. Now, wipe off your knife. And now we're just going to go in with the hook part facing downward. We're just going to go around. We're just going to clean this up a little bit. We're going to try to not to get some of those pieces in there. We don't want that. There's a mussel in there. So now we're just going to flip it over. And then we have one. I have 3 more of these mofos. All right. All right, flat side. And then that one, and a hole in my glove. Oh, lovely. Okay. Reach in there. Shove it in. Man, are these things like raised in Chernobyl or something? Holy cow. Never had this problem before. Come on. Get in that hinge, you mother effer. Okay, there we go. Pop. Swipe. Scrape off a little bit of that. Go around. Tell it that's pretty. You're pretty. You're a pretty mean little mother hunter is what you are. Alright. And it's oyster season here in Washington State. And since I couldn't get clams, figured, okay, so I guess we're getting oysters. All right. It's got muscle, that one's not as pretty. I'm a little out of practice with this. I used to have to shuck oysters at the steakhouse I used to work at. And of course, they were much smaller oysters and a little bit easier to deal with. All right. Release, you piece of doo-doo. Okay, there we go. Number 2. Like that. You don't want that crud. All right, number 2. All right, I gotta flip my sausages. I got a cast iron back here. It's a cast iron griddle. It's a shit thing that my mother bought me when she was alive. Well, when she was alive, she bought it for me. Out the QVC. Turn that off for a moment. And no, I'm not going to put all the sausage in there. I'm actually going to save this for tomorrow. Save some of them for tomorrow. I got some ravioli left over from our ravioli night. Like it's a ravioli and sausage. Come on, get in there. There we go. Pop. Pop goes weasel. Okay, wifey. You guys still with me? Let's see, who else do we have? Hey, Larry. And we've got Keep It Real. And so far, that's it. Okay. Just cracking open some oysters here, guys. Mahalos for coming and watching. So, as many of you know, but some of you may not know because you're new to my channel, I am a professional chef. Over the decades, I've worked in so many different types of kitchens. The last kitchen that I had just left I was working at the jail as food service director, and I was responsible for teaching culinary arts to inmates. Well, I loved that job up until I stopped loving that job fairly recently. And the reason being, oh shit, okay. The reason being is that I found myself having to work 7 days a week for 12 plus hours a day. I was spending more time with inmates than I was my own family, which is not cool. I'm a firm believer in work-life balance, and that wasn't working for me anymore. As much as I miss teaching cooking skills to inmates, I wasn't in love with the company anymore that I was working for. And so I left just before Christmas time because working for 2 months with only 5 days off was just too much to bear. It was just too much. And I was really, really exhausted. And I was hating life, and I was having some serious problems with my own mental health. All right. No, that's the other one. So just before Thanksgiving, I had enough, and I went on a job, I had a job interview. And my job interview was with a cultural arts center. Hello, Strangler. Nice to see you again. So it's a cultural arts center, and we're in Tumwater, Washington, and the nonprofit organization is called ASHHO, and we teach culinary arts to people that are homeless, are facing financial struggles. They might be refugees from other countries, and so on and so forth. So being a marginalized, different shade of brown girl, I felt that it was going to be important at that moment in time to go and apply for this job. And after having to spend 2 months reading through resumes and cover letters, I came up with this brilliant plan to put my personality on a plate. My personality is a lot of goofy, dry humor, and I wasn't expecting anything, wasn't expecting a phone call back, but I actually said, I answered the ad for the job position as a culinary instructor. And the way I worded it was, hello, I am a marginalized, different shade of brown girl that teaches culinary arts. And that struck a chord with this organization to the point where the administrative assistant had gone and interrupted the founder while she was in a very important meeting and says, you have to look at this cover letter. You have to look at it right now. Stop what you're doing, look at this cover letter. And lo and behold, that started a whole chain reaction, and I got the job. And I'm loving it. I just finished my first month, my first week, and it's just been an amazing journey so far. Trying to get this cafe to go live. We've opened up Saturdays. This is my second. I just finished my second Saturday, and we did Jamaican soul food. The previous week was Bengali food, and then next week is Navajo food, and then the following week is like I think Thai and Japanese, which I think is going to be interesting because that's my wheelhouse right there. I do a lot of Asian fusion dishes, even though I am classically trained in French culinary. So we've got our oysters already taken care of, and some of them look a little gnarly. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of practice on this. It's been a few years since I've actually had to shuck oysters, okay? Last time I shucked oysters was when I was working at the Mill Steakhouse. And that was a great job. I love that job. So let's go through all the ingredients that we're going to be using for the Cioppino. We have shallots here. We go to the top camera.
Yep.
Okay. We have shallots, and we've got a brunoise of shallot. They're all nice and little teeny tiny. Then we've got a julienne of green bell pepper. The reason why I chose the green one is because I like the color. It's a different color, and I got a little bit of celery. Then we got a little bit of celery, and I've got the celery leaves because this is where the flavor of celery pops, is in the leaf itself. And then, of course, we've got the flat leaf parsley, and then I've got butter. So that's what's in my box right there. I am deathly allergic to crab, so don't judge me, please. I've got Crab Classic, imitation crab. It's flake style. And the thing I love so much about this is that it actually flakes, and it actually has much of the texture that you would find. Where's my little bowl? I lost my little bowl. Oh, it's got the scallops. Anyway, so it flakes much like crab. I remember being 8 years old and being finding out that I was allergic to crab. And that's one of the things that my father and I used to really thoroughly enjoy, was going crabbing just off of Vashon Island in Washington State when I was a kid. That was one of our things. We used to do that. So I remember what crab is supposed to taste like. I know the mouth feel, the texture that it should be. And I remember always hating imitation crab meat because it never had that taste or the texture or the actual look of it. And this is actually a fairly decent brand, and it's Trans-Ocean Products, even though it's snow crab and pollock. Um, all right, so next we have my smoked garlic. We're going to leave them as whole cloves. They've already been peeled. That's what I was doing while we were doing our intro. And then we have Italian herb paste by Gourmet Garden. I love this stuff because as a busy culinary professional, sometimes what might seem like a day off may end up a phone call at 9:05. I need you in here in 45 minutes. So I always keep this stuff on hand, and I've gotten to really love this stuff a lot. Let's see. Let's flip it around here. It's made by Gourmet Garden, and it's Italian herb paste. The stuff is great. What you do is you just squeeze it out, and it's just this little glop of green crap that comes out of it. But, you know, it's just as good. And if you're a busy professional that ends up buying a whole bunch of herbs in the hopes of being able to make something, and then you get called into work and you don't know when your next day off is going to be after that, it's like your herbs are going to die. So I've gotten to the point where, God, this stuff is great because I could just pitch this whole tube into the freezer and I don't have to worry about losing a whole bunch of herbs because, you know, grocery shopping is expensive. 2 bags of groceries today cost me $100 or just shy of $100. Okay, even though typical recipes don't call for capers, I like the briny acid that it brings to this dish. This is more of a French thing, and I am classically trained as a French chef, so I kind of like to have that brininess because it adds a whole other level of brightness to a dish. Then we also have smoked paprika, which I did not take. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that. Anyway, so smoked paprika, and I have a preference to this brand for Spiceology, but right now I'm kind of poor because I basically had to live without a salary for several weeks because I just could no longer handle being at the jail anymore. As much as I loved being in that environment, I stopped being in love with that environment. Okay, so this is also something that you may or may not want. I like to use this as part of the garnish, and it's just a shredded four cheese blend. Oh, but you're a chef. Why aren't you just grinding it or shredding it yourself?
Hey, look out behind you.
What's behind you?
Cat.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Get off there! Oh my God! You never get on the stove. What is wrong with you, you dummy? Had it.
Sorry, didn't switch cameras fast enough. You could have seen our 35-pound cat.
Yeah, our 35-pound cat that was eyeballing the sausages on the stove, which could have ended badly. Okay, so now we've got bay scallops because apparently I can't get fresh clams right now. Either that or the store is just being stupid and they just don't want me to have them. I think that's what it is. They just don't want me to have them. They're like, nope, nope, nope. You're going to be doing something else with your life. And you're going to have to figure something else out. Okay, so we got our oysters. We got shrimps still in the shell. They're raw. And then we've got these beautiful pieces of cod that we're going to actually be cutting into little pieces. Now, one of the things that I love about this dish is that it's so simple, yet it has so many complex flavors. Let me grab one of my mats here real quick. I'll show you how to take care of it. Now, there's a whole lot of recipes online. Ignore some of those stupid things because it pisses me off. Because you do not par cook your goddamn fish in the freaking oven. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. Just don't do it. Now where's my knife? There it is. I don't need that. Okay, so now we're going to get me another glove. Because I do have OCD, I have been clinically diagnosed with OCD, and I don't like sticky things on my hands. Yes, that's my cell phone on the floor. I'm not worried about it. So now we're going to take our fishies, and we're going to cut them into some pieces that are maybe 1-bite pieces. They will shrink, so you've got to keep that in mind when you cook them. They are going to shrink. We're going to add them to our little bowl of bay scallops because I'm poor. I can't buy $25 a pound scallops right now. I'm kind of between paychecks at the moment. Okay, so we have that. Now, but what do you do about the shrimp? The shrimp still has their shells. Well, I'm going to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to take 2 cans or 2 bottles of clam juice, and we're going to dump it into this pot. Okay? And this is just Snow's clam juice. Now, if you're allergic to clams or you just don't like the taste of clam, you can make your own fish stock. And when I say fish stock, I'm talking about fumet, which is a very simple thing to do. If you have the ability to buy yourself some fish heads, just boil some fish heads up. It doesn't take very long. It's not an all-day process like making chicken stock. You don't need more than 15-20 minutes tops to simmer off a good fish stock. So you can use fish heads or the bones from your fish if you're going to be cutting your own. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Oh my god! All right, and just for all the newbies around, I've got a little bit of brain damage. I was diagnosed with brain cancer, I think 8 years ago, and so I had brain surgery. So sometimes I do things a little goofy, and sometimes I'm a little retarded, but you know, you just gotta roll with it. Okay, just peel the shrimps. So you can also do that with shrimp stock by just taking your shrimp peels and you just put them into a pan and you just let it go on a nice gentle rolling boil for about 15 minutes. But you can do that with your fish, any fish bones. You're going to want to strain it. So now we're going to turn the stove on to medium low, medium-ish, a medium-ish. I'm going to pick up my phone. So, yes, I had brain surgery about 8 years ago, so sometimes I'm a little slow. All right, now what we're going to need is a 29 ounces of tomato sauce. We're going to need crushed tomatoes in puree. We're going to need 29 ounces of crushed tomatoes, or 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes. The can of crushed tomatoes in puree is 15 ounces. It's pretty much, you can pretty much find that at just the,
Can't take you anywhere.
I know, right? That's the reason why they call me Wreck-It Ralph. So
I know.
I'm just a terrible person today. So yes, I'm still struggling, and that all started out with a car accident that I had.
You're
We
back.
would never
Hi,
have found
Joey.
it until, you know, it was way too late. But fortunately, unfortunately, I was in a car accident and suffered a concussion. And that's how they found it. I ended up going to the emergency room a second time because the headache was out of control and I had a whole lot of slurred speech and I was just not feeling right with the world, man. Something just didn't quite feel right. And it's like 13 hours later, 2 MRIs and 1 CT scan. Yes, they actually did 2 MRIs because they weren't quite sure what they were seeing. So they had to do a second MRI, but with contrast that time. It was stupid. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway. All right, so that's going. So we got our cans open. And yes, Derek, damn it, I'm showing you how to use a freaking can opener all over again. That's the proper way to use a can opener. Our sausages are looking a little black. All right. So we've got our fishes, we've got our oysters, we've got our shrimpies. Now we're gonna begin with the glorious shallots and the celery. We always choose the heartiest vegetable that we're going to saute because it takes a while. So we're going to get our pot and we're going to add our oil. And I just use just a extra virgin olive oil. That's pretty much all I use. Are we on the right camera? Are you paying attention to me? Mr. Cameraman. Okay.
We are.
Okay.
You're just behind.
All right, so let's see here. Love to your pups 4. I was checking out your channel. Oh my gosh. So if you love dogs as much as we do, huh?
I just posted with her link.
Oh, you did.
Their
Oh,
link.
wonderful. So yeah, if you love dogs, you gotta go check out that channel. I haven't been able to dig too deep into it. I spent 9 hours in hell yesterday frying up funeral fried chicken for 100 people and getting the cafe sorted out because I was responsible for all the caters that was happening this day. So that was fun. So I feel like I finally arrived to my place. I found my tribe, and I'm among a whole bunch of very strong women that have just the most amazing energy. It's just so amazing, you know. It's like I wish I could talk more about my coworkers, but I would end up telling part of their story, and it would not be a good thing because I would not want somebody that's new to me to be talking about my story on YouTube without me being there. So
Many names are changed to protect the innocent.
yes, but I could do that. However, you know, I have integrity, so I'm not going to speak of my coworkers' stories because I respect them. Out of respect for them, I'm not going to do it. But I can just tell you this much. I feel like I've finally arrived to the place and time where I'm supposed to be among these beautiful women that have the most interesting life stories, and I feel supported. And what I'm doing with my life right now is just the beginning of something that's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to take our celery and we've cut them up very, very, very thin. We're going to let those get happy in our pan. We do want some of the flavors to really, really get to do that. I'll sneak down. I'll sneak down. My junk drawer, yes, this is my ugly junk drawer. I've got all sorts of random bits and bobs in here, things that don't belong in there. I didn't realize how many freaking measuring spoons I've got until just now. But it's just amazing. I get to be among other brown women of various shades and be able to just be me, you know, in my authentic self, with no judgment. Even, you know, sometimes I feel like I should be judged. Okay, so it's just wonderful. It just I've not really realized how marginalized I felt until coming here to this place, feeling empowered, being among these beautiful women that are just smart and articulate and so on. All right, let's get rid of that. We don't need those out of the way. Now we're starting with our hard stuff first. We got our shallot, and those are cut into a brunoise. And over here we've got our clam broth with our shrimp shells in there. We will be straining it out with a strainer in a little bit. We just want to get these shrimp shells to get nice and happy while we're taking care of this. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to get this all nice and, I know, right? She cooks. I don't know what your first name is, so she cooks. So it's like it was like I was meant to be in this place at that time, you know. You know, when I'm cooking my stuff, when I'm doing something that's a rustic sort of dish, what I like to do is I like to add different shapes. Instead of cutting everything to little tiny bits, like this, for example, this is brunoise. Then we got our julienne or our batons. Now, the size of the baton will determine the size of your dice. So this would be like a medium dice if you were to dice them. If you're new to the channel, there's some knife cut basics that you can take a look at. And it will explain away, you know, cutting everything into a certain sizes, and then how to get better at knife cuts. So now we got some coloration happening on our shallot. If you cannot find shallots because you live out in the middle of freaking nowhere like we do, you can always get onions. But sometimes you might not, you know, it might not be in your budget to buy a shallot. You know, in some stores, they can be a little on the spendy side. You can just use onion. You know, just cut them very small. And I do have a video on how to brunoise an onion. Now we got some browning happening there. Now we're going to add our julienne. Bell pepper. Now, if you don't like bell peppers, or if you're allergic to anything in the nightshade family, you can just not do this part. not add it. You can add something else to it if you want. You can add carrot, but I would burn a lot of the carrot too. So now we got all those going. We're gonna just blister this, and the way you tell if it's blistered is that the skin of the bell pepper will start to crackle a little bit, and it will start to soften. The color will not be nearly as green. I like to take it just to the point of where it's like an al dente. So I just want to give it a little bit of a fry just to cut some of that waxy texture down off of the bell pepper itself. And get it so that it's to a certain point. You know, what we're going to be using, usually the general rule of thumb is if it's seafood, you want to use a white wine. But if it's a tomato-based dish like this is going to be, you would want to prefer a red wine. But, you know, it's up to you. It's like, it's whatever you have on hand. Or if you don't want alcohol in your food at all, you could always do something else like just put a little splash of vinegar in there. So, hey, Viper, long time no see. Haven't seen you in a while. So what I have here is Cioppino. No, I'm not sure if I'm pointing this right direction. I don't think I'm pointing this right direction. Okay, Cioppino Hill Monastrell. It is a old vine bottle of wine, and it is actually that's backwards. So this one here is from Spain. I buy all my most of my bottles of wine. Oh, I got it. You see down on the bottom of the can. Now we got a lot of browning going on. There's not a lot of sugar in a shallot. And as you can see, you got some browning in the bottom of the can there. And that is what is known as the fond. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some wine, but we're going to add a lot of wine. We're gonna drunk this bitch up, okay? Drunk this bitch up. Some beer, so we're gonna add some wine. We're gonna let that do its thing, okay? Just let it chill and do its thing. About a cup of wine right there. You just need that wine. You just need it. You know, if you don't have any red wine, if you're not a red wine drinker, you can always use white wine, or you could use port, or sherry, or sala from you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let this cook down a little bit, and we're going to take it to what's known as ASHHO. ASHHO is where you let it evaporate until there's just barely any liquid left in the bottom of that pan. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this other mat, push this stuff over, and grab two of the sausages. Because it's just the two of us tonight. It's just me and Timmy. We're going to slice the sausage up. Now, I prefer to use pancetta for this, but we're not bougie enough out here in the middle of frickin' nowhere, because we live in a little rural town where basically the highway dead ends right into the backside of Mount Rainier. So we can't always get what we want out here. We're just not bougie enough. Even though we've got this massive 25,000 freaking home housing development that's in town. It's little mansions that are like, starting at like $700,000 working their way out. So we don't have that opportunity to get all the ingredients that we would like. We don't have a Net Market or Whole Foods or anything like that out here. Just to get to one of those, it's like at least an hour drive. So we got to make do with what we got. Now, with all the steam that's happening here, you can't really see that we're almost to ASHHO. Now, ASHHO, like I said, is just when there's barely any wine left. You want it reduced and reduced and reduced and reduced. This is where all the love happens. I'm going to actually turn this burner off over here where our shrimp shells are, because we're going to then add that to this. And we're going to add all the other ingredients. And we're going to let them do its thing. And then add our fish. We're going to add our fish later. Now, with Cioppino, it's actually a very rustic seafood stew of sorts. You can actually add other things to it if you want. If you want to add like some potato or some carrot, or if you really like squid, you can add squid to it. You can add mussels and clams if you want. They're out of season here, so and just go with the base scallops. But you always want to let this rest and do its thing, and then add the seafood later. So now on our mat, we've got our sausage. We want to add that to it. I'm going to stir that around. We are just about to offset. There's hardly any left there. So now we're going to take this garlic. This is roasted, actually it's smoked garlic, so you can use roasted garlic, or if you want, you can just use raw garlic. If you're going to use raw garlic, you want to add it a lot sooner. But I smoke my garlic because I really love the flavor that it has. It just gives it a whole other level of depth to it. We're going to introduce them because they're going to be getting ready for the party here. You know, they're like a bunch of stupid drunk teenagers of sorts. You know, they need to have their introduction, and they got to go to the gym where the dance is, and they're going to sit around awkwardly on the bleachers, not knowing what the hell to do with themselves. Then they start to get to know their dates a little bit better, and then they start to feel a little bit more confident about getting out on that dance floor. You can start to play, start getting jiggy, and then thing you know what, they're having a good time. All right, now we are absolutely at ASHHO. There's hardly any of that liquid left, but it's all absorbed into that shallot. We're going to add our shrimp and clam stock to it. And we're going to add our other ingredients. We got our tomato sauce or sauce tomate. Also, in the state of Washington, our tomatoes are out of season, so we're using canned. And it's okay to use canned. I really hate it when people say, oh, you got to use organic, you got to use this, you got to use fresh. You know, groceries are so damn expensive right now. No judgment, okay? Now we're going to add this other one, which is the crushed tomatoes and puree. What are these cans? How do you have to go along while you're staring at the pot? What's next now? Now we're going to stir this up. Geez, Sibby, that looks really, really thick. That's why there's a little 4-cup Pyrex sitting here next to me. In case we do have to dilute it down a little bit. I'm going to grab the next ingredients because we do want to introduce some of these at an early stage. And one of the things is the Italian herb paste. We want to add that. I'm just going to give it about a tablespoon or so-ish to start. And we're just going to tasty as we go along. And because this is a seafood dish, this is not something that needs to happen all day long, okay? You're gonna want some of that smoked paprika. I like the taste of paprika, so I'm gonna actually go with about a half teaspoon for starters. And then we're gonna want to add some capers. And we don't want to add the drinks. Hey, nobody. I'm not going to want to add the caper juice, so we want to try to drain that out as much as humanly possible. Now, capers is something that is entirely optional. You know, it is your dish after all, right? We don't, and on top of all this, like, WTF is a freaking caper anyway. You know, if you don't know what it is, you don't know what it tastes like, and if it's not in your budget, you don't have to add it. That's just how I like it. Plus, they're very salty, so you want to just be very careful with that salt. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get our lemon. I like to put a little bit of lemon zest in there. So, wash your lemon, get a microplane, and just tappy. Scrape, tappy. This is just to add a little bit of brightness to it, a little bit more acid, but a different kind of acid. Toward the end, as we finish, we're going to actually put some of that lemon juice into it as needed. Now just take it just till the yellow has started to dissolve a little bit. You don't want to go too far deep into that white part of the lemon. That's why using a microplane is always the best option, because then you control how much of that lemon zest you're putting in there. All right. You still with it? All right. Looks like we're still with it. Now, like I said, pancetta is my preference, but you can definitely put Italian sausage in there. This is supposed to be a rustic dish. It's not supposed to be horribly composed, okay? It does not have to be horribly composed. But at this point, what you want to do is you want to take a little piece of the bread, just give it a tasty taste, just to see where we're at, because layering flavors is so important. And everybody's palate is a little bit different. I'm going to just throw a little salt in there, a little bit more of this, because I really like my things to be herbaceous. So add a little bit more. And about this point, we're going to just add a smidge of water in there, maybe about a half cup, just to thin it out a little bit. Okay. And as far as the fresh herbs like the parsley and the celery leaf, I like to leave that to the very end because I don't want, well, I want, you know, the beauty that it adds to a dish. I don't want it to cook out and look kind of sad. You don't want sad ingredients in there. So we got a nice steaming going on right now. This is probably the appropriate time to add our fish and add our base scallops. Okay. Now, if you like to have more vegetables in this, you can definitely put other things in there. What I would recommend if you're going to do that is to definitely add some spinach. You can also add some zucchini. You can pretty much add just about anything in there that you would prefer. And now we're gonna come back over here for just a moment while that's getting happy. And let's see if Timmy will change the screen, or change the camera. Really loving the vibe that's going on tonight. It's nice and chill, and you know, everybody's getting along. Thank you so much. Are we gonna switch cameras?
Wait, want
Oh,
that
we are on
one?
cameras. No, you're fine. I'm being a dumbass.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I know. I'm being a dumbass.
Look at this, not that.
Yeah,
That's 15 seconds behind.
yeah, I know. It's 15 seconds behind.
Well, you
So,
never remember it.
I know. Hi, my name is Dory, and I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Okay, so now we're just going to take this, and this is the surimi or the big crab. Now you can add real crab to it. It's your dish after all, right? You can add lobster if you want. Whatever seafood that you can get hold of that's within your budget will work just fine. We are using cod because I had cod already in the freezer, so I just pulled those cod fillets out. And, you know, we're gonna pitch that in there. I was like looking at salmon, and I was like, oh, that looks so good. That would be so good. But you know, one of the things about salmon, as much as I love salmon, it might be a little too pungent for this sort of dish because it's supposed to have, like, you know, a nice light of the sea flavor to it, right? Not so much in your face. But if you like squid, you can definitely put squid in there. Clams and mussels. You just basically just dunk them in there when you're about 10 or 15 minutes out from serving, so that they can get happy and steam very gently. Just make sure if you're going to add mussels that you clean the beards out. Later on, when I can actually find mussels, I will create a little video on how to de-beard these little dastardly things. Yes, 50 First Dates. I freaking love that movie. So yeah, that's me on most days. It's like you could tell me something, and you can tell me your deepest, darkest secret, and I'll forget it in 5 minutes. It's pretty funny. Because somebody will be like, do you remember when I said this? No. For the most part, I just don't want to admit to, you know, having all these cognitive issues with people. But I remember one time a chef was like, this is before I found out about brain cancer. One day we were dealing with a very large group. We had live music, and it was a tasting night, and I was dealing with a bunch of stuff, and he's like, you've got the memory of a goldfish. And this was like 6 months before I was diagnosed. So to Chef Chad, if you happen to be watching, F you and the horse you rode in on. I hope you're happy about teasing me ruthlessly during a very busy night in a wine bar. F you. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do have the memory of a goldfish. Six months after that, I was in a car accident the day after my birthday with my sous chef in tow. Both of us ended up in urgent care. But they did an X-ray, they didn't do an MRI and a CT scan, so they basically said, "Oh, you've got a concussion. Here you go. You can just go home now." And that was it for me. And a few days later, I was like, "I don't feel right. It doesn't feel right." All right, so now we're back over here. Now, it's up to you if you want to add some saffron to this. You can add a little saffron, but who the hell can afford saffron these days when egg prices are $11 for a dozen? You know, who the hell who can afford that? Nobody can afford that. But if you happen to have threads of saffron in your pantry, go for it. Throw a little bit in there, see what happens. And I'm gonna add some black pepper because black pepper can always lend some good flavors to a dish. And this is just regular black peppercorn. Normally I have like green, pink, white, and black pepper, but I've not purchased any new ones, any new pepper recently. So now, there's that. We're gonna add we're gonna top it off with just a little smidge more water. And we're going to pull off a little piece of this bread. We're going to give it a tasty taste and see how we're doing. When your tongue says, "Oh, that's it, I'm about ready to have a foodgasm, my panties are moist," that's about the right flavor. Oh my God. So, a little smidge more. I really want it to pop. So I like pop. Okay. Add a smidge more of that. But what I do notice is that it needs a little bit more acid. I'm going to go back over here, clean up my mess, find my lemon. We're going to cut it in half. And my lemon. Did I get my lemon? There's my lemon squizzy. I found it. All right, lemon squizzy. Back over to the pot. We're just going to give it a little splash of lemon. Right there. Right there. Because acid is so important. It can change a dish from, "Oh, this is good," to, "Oh my God, Gordon Ramsay would love this." Not that Gordon Ramsay would love my food. He'd probably be like, "You donkey." All right, give it a whirl. Oh, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Adjust. A little bit more salt. Down. Now, what we're going to do is come back over here to our prep surface, and we're going to get our shrimpies. You know what? I just can't. I can't do it. We're starting with cod. Because cod is, you can't find farm raised cod. You just can't. No cod that is farm raised. So now we're going to just tear the shrimps into pieces. These are colossal shrimps. These are combination of
No.
pink shrimps. Huh? I'm sorry, what?
Talking to the dog.
Oh, you're talking to the dog. Okay. It's whatever fish you can get hold of. Whatever seafood you can get hold of. It's not, there's no real, oh, you got to use this, you got to use that. It's whatever you get hold of. Because this was developed by fishermen. It's a little bit of a vein still in that one. It's whatever fishermen had when they got off the boat. It's whatever was there. Sometimes, the catch wasn't all that great that day. And so they just used what they had. Fish heads and the bones make the great stock. It's whatever you have on hand. And then you just tear the shrimps into pieces, into bite-sized pieces. You can cut them if you want, but no reason to. You can just go in and just pinch off little bite-sized chunks. And we're going to add that to our Cioppino. There we go. Take that glove off. Sorry, I've got OCD, so it's like I go through a lot of gloves. People sometimes laugh at me because, oh. All right. So we're just going to let that heat back up again, because that's basically what it's all about. It's not about boiling it out, and cooking it down, and cooking it, and cooking it, and cooking it. Because in order to achieve that seafood flavor, it doesn't take longer than a half hour. It never takes longer than a half hour. Fish does not take that long. Unlike chicken or beef or veal or whatever you're doing, those take a while. It takes a long time. There's quite the process of that. All right, let's dip another piece of bread in there and let's give it a taste. Mm. Oh my God. It's really good. Yes, she cooks. Yes, you just dump the shit in the pot. Pray for the best, right? Sometimes it's not always what you want it to be, but at least you can say, oh well, this needs this. So look at that. Mm. Oh my God. So yeah, the fish and the shrimp will add to the flavor of this in its own way. Mm. Goodness gracious. Yes, I'm eating. Yes. Do you want a bite? You want a bite? I can.
I just want a piece of bread.
Okay, one piece of bread to dip in?
No, I just want a piece of bread.
Oh, you just want. Oh, okay. All right, here you go. Sorry. He's hangry. Yes, traditionally this was a fisherman's community meal with old unsold catch. Literally anything left over. That's very, very right. It was originally developed by Italian fishermen in the United States. So it's not a true Italian meal. It's Italian American. But at the same time, other countries like Portugal and so on have something similar. And this is really tasty and really good. And one of the things I like about cod is that, it does have a strong fishy flavor to it. So the longer it simmers in a tomato broth like this, the more the fish flavor will come out into the dish. Well, you don't really honestly don't want to cook it longer than, a half hour. Okay. So there we have that. Now we're gonna go for those oysters. Those oysters are just gonna float in there. Actually, no, we're gonna add the oysters next. Because those do take a few minutes. So now we're gonna come over here and we're gonna just take these oysters right on out. Put them right onto this little pan or this sheet real quick. Just go through and make sure that there's no shells or substrate from the shells on there. Take a whirl. There's some mussel. There we go. You definitely don't want pieces of duck or mussel. So now we're going to just drop these little babies right on in there. Because we're getting ready to serve this in just a few moments. Okay. So just feel around. Make sure that you got all of those off there. There's that. Get rid of this. Clean up my mess. Oops. Clean up my mess here real quick so that we can get on with our day. There we go. And oysters just need a few minutes, okay? Dirty. Oh, just set that right there. I'm off camera, so.
I know that.
No, I'm saying I'm off camera. All right. So oysters don't need that long. Contrary to popular belief, oysters do not need to be fully cooked when they're fresh like that. And these things are fresh. These things are beautifully fresh. Okay, so now we're going to add our surimi, or if you feel inclined, you can definitely add real crab meat, but I'm allergic, so we have to just make do. And then we also have our herbs. We also have butter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just throw some knobs of butter here and there and here and there, right? Oh shit. All right. Bring it low. We're just going to stir it and let that butter just get nice and happy. We don't want it bubbling hot. We want it just to the point where, that butter is just going to slowly just simmer, okay? This is only a one stick of butter. I should get a second stick of butter. I just throw little knobs of butter, and those knobs of butter are cold, okay? So cold butter. It will help to add to that mouthfeel for one, and it will, this wants some fat. It's like, oh God, I want a little bit of fat. Just give me a little bit of fat. Please, just a little bit of fat. So this is how you add a little bit of that fat. Because you want it to have that velvet feel on your mouth, or on your lips and on your tongue. So it lingers. You want that lingering flavor, like a tango on your palate. So our oysters, let's see if we can find an oyster here. See how those shrimps, let's see. That's butter. Butter. Should have butter to the bread too. There he is. There he is. See that? Now those are bigger oysters than what I wanted, but beggars can't be choosers. A little bit on so I'm gonna just add some more green. Just brighten it up a little bit. Just say, hey, hello, look at me. I'm fresh. A little more. I just love celery leaves. So please, if you're one of those that throws out your celery leaves, no, don't do that. It's sacrilege. It's absolute sacrilege. Please, just grab a little bit of it and just, mix it up with your other fresh herbs. Just throw it in there. Or if you don't have any fresh herbs, hey, you know, when you buy a freaking head of celery, that's bonus, man. That's bonus. Because that's where the flavors are really, really highly concentrated. Okay? So just go for it. Alright. So there we have that. It's just looking just so stunning right now. Look at those oysters. By the time all is said and done, those oysters are going to be this perfect. You don't want them overcooked or else they end up coming these really tough pieces of go F yourself.
Did you already answer her question?
I'm sorry?
Did you already answer her question?
Which question? I'm sorry. Which question? I didn't see it pop up. What the grilled oysters with cheese on top called? I love that. They're just, those are just grilled oysters with, it's kind of like a clams casino of sorts, but they're just grilled oysters. I just call them grilled oysters.
Tiger said oysters Rockefeller.
What's that?
Look at what Tiger's answer was.
Which one? Oysters Rockefeller, yes, thank you. Thank you. Alright. I just call them grilled oysters.
Where the hell is she getting all these paper towels?
What? I don't know where she's getting paper towels. I've got one. That's it. Okay.
Are you putting them in the recycling?
No. I don't know where she's getting them from. Unless I dropped one. I don't know. Puppy is like going crazy over paper towels. Alright, so there we have it. Now, I need to, I already grabbed my thing. Oh, this is hot. This is hot. This is hot. This is hot. Oh my god.
Whiner.
I'm okay. It's okay. We're all good. We're all good. We're good. Alright, let's go back over here. Big camera. Alright. So everything's kind of floating to the top, so you just kind of have to stir a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. Bam! Let's give it a little bit more. Okay. So it doesn't, depending on the size of the oysters, if they're really jumbo like the ones that I've got, they're grilling oysters, as they say. You know, you want to give them about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. So now we're just going to go in, and we're going to spoon it all out. And depending on how much seafood you want to add, you can definitely add more seafood to it or less. And add more vegetables. Making a mess here. Alrighty. You know what I haven't had out in a while is my plate spinner. Where's my plate spinner? Plate spinner. There it is. No, that's not it. Where's my plate spinner? Right in front of me. Okay. Alright.
Can't see it.
Huh? Well, we can in a moment. Crying out loud. Oh no, it's gonna be battery's dead. Oh my god, the battery's dead. Okay, never mind. So. Oh god, this smells so good.
Just give them the money shot.
I am going to give them the money
You
shot.
got
Tim.
one.
Huh? I know, but I gotta get second poll started.
Why?
Huh?
I'm not gonna eat it.
Why aren't you gonna eat it?
You put the oysters in it. I fucking told you that.
Oh, for crying out loud! You're not gonna taste the oysters. Did you really tell me that?
Yes.
How come I've seen you eat oyster before?
No, I've never eaten an oyster.
All right, well.
Yes, and she's stupid too.
Yeah, I guess I'm stupid. All right.
Finish it.
Alrighty. So, Chrissy Crossy, like so. And there we have it. Got our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This one's got oysters in it. This one does not have oysters in it. Yeah, you just give it just a little smidge of lemon juice toward the end there. And if you prefer, you can also put a little bit of cheese on top. That's up to you. It's not typical, but I like it. Adds a little bit more of the saltiness to it. While not being briny. So there we have it. We've got Cioppino. And the bread, you just go in and you just dippy. And that's going to be it for the Cioppino. Timmy's going to eat this, by the way. Don't worry about it. Not even going to notice that there was oysters floating in it for 3 minutes. All right. So, anybody have any questions? Do we need to get our wheel out and choose what our next adventure is going to be? We need our wheel. Our wheel of Sibby's misfortune. So, Tiger, I think that you can easily replicate this to however way you can based on your location and the type of seafood that you have access to. Because Tiger, our wonderful mod with the onesie movie, are all in Panama area. And yes, it's wheel time. So for those that are new, the wheel of misfortune, and it's only my misfortune because you guys have done this to me. You guys have subjected me to this tomfoolery. Okay. Let's see here. Here we have it. Which camera are we on? I don't know which camera we're on. This is the Wheel of Misfortune. Hello, yes I can barbecue. Good evening. Thank you for stopping in. The Wheel of Misfortune has a bunch of random ingredients that all of our viewers have chosen for this wheel. We actually did this a whole evening of just figuring out which ingredients we've got. So on the outside ring, we've got meats. The ring inside is a vegetable. The ring inside that is a starch. And then the ring inside that is a whole bunch of whatever, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to choose what the next mystery box is going to be. Now that I actually have time again to be able to do this, because 2 months of my life was wasted with my last job, we can now do this all over again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a spin. So which part of the ring should we spin for first? Should we do the protein, the vegetable, the starch, or the rando? Somebody, anybody, please tell me which one should we spin for first. First one, it says protein, starch, or protein, vegetable, starch, or rando gets to choose what our first spin is. So we got a starch from She Cooks. So let's go for it. And so the starch is going to be couscous. Go. All right. So the next one is going to be the rando from Yes I Can Barbecue.
No.
Please go check out his channel
Go.
too.
Go.
Rando, and also Coffee Cake Fish. Hello, Coffee Cake. I'm sorry, I missed you. I didn't see you popped in here. So next, we're going to spin for the Rando. The Rando is going to be, oh, woo, woo, woo. She's protesting. Our Rando is going to be coconut milk.
Knock it off.
And now, okay, so that leaves us with the protein or the vegetable. That there is the Deadpool squirrel. He's a Deadpool squirrel. If you've not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, go watch it. Okay, so next is going to be what? What are we going to choose next? We already have the starch. We already have the Rando. So now we've got to go for the meat. And hey, killing it and growing it, welcome. Long time no see. We're choosing the wheel of misfortune. We have meat and the veg left. Okay, so Simon has said meat. Slim Jims. You mother effers. Slim Jims. This is gonna suck, man. Alright. Alright, so that leaves us with the veg. I know, Tiger. You guys suck. You guys suck ass, man. Okay, so our vegetable squash. Alright. Alright, so here's the viewer request. Do we want to spin for one more? Or do we want to leave it as it is? So far we've got couscous, coconut milk, Slim Jims, and squash. Anybody? What do we want? Do we want to spin for one more ingredient? This is a mystery box, okay? As is. Okay, keep it as is. These people suck. Or no, seriously, I love you guys. I love you guys. Love you guys lots. So we got couscous, coconut milk, Slim Jims, and squash. Oh, I probably should clear the board now. What's my eraser? There it is. Okay.
You better take a picture of that.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I better take a picture of that. Hold on a second. Let me take a picture real quick before it dies. All right. All right, took a picture. All right, so we're going to take away Slim Jims because that's been selected. Oh, God, what the hell am I going to do with that and coconut milk and couscous? That's weird. All right, so the next one was squash. Squash. Where are you? Okay, couscous. And now we've got. Can't even read my own freaking handwriting. Is that? Oh, there it is, right there. Squash, and the other one was coconut milk. All right. Oh, let's pop this off. All right. So we've got. Who chose couscous? Who was the one that chose the starch? Who chose the starch? We'll start there. Who chose starch? Because now it's time to refill this wheel. We got to put things back or put a new ingredient in there. She cooks got starch, so you get to choose a starch. So let me read this because my handwriting sucks. I'm left-handed. Don't judge me, but judge me, okay? We've got potato salad, fava beans, potato, baked potato, fries, fettuccine, rice, Kraft macaroni and cheese, rice noodles, mashed potatoes, elbow noodles, ramen noodles, and that's it. Okay, so you get to choose a new one, she cooks. Oh my God! So you're left-handed too. All right. So that's why we vibe so well. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. So you get to choose. No, ramen noodles is already there, sweetheart. We got to choose a different one. Ramen noodles is, where did I see what? Ramen noodles is right there. So you got to choose a different one.
I know.
So we're going to choose different. No, we got rice on there already. It's right there. We got ramen noodles, potato salad, fava beans, potato,
I
baked
know. You
potato,
won out.
fries, fettuccine, rice, Kraft macaroni and cheese, rice noodles, mashed potato, elbow noodles, and ramen noodles. Potato, just plain potato. It can be anything, literally. I mean, if you want to put potato chips on there or hash browns, you know, it could be that specific. Okay, just so you know, because you have not been able to, you weren't here for this when we first started this one. And it just warms my heart that we get to do our wheel of misfortune again. So, if there's a potato that you would like to see, specifically like tater tots or Pringles or potato starch or canned potatoes, hash browns, red potatoes, purple potatoes, barbecue potato chips. Hey, no, you're not sheep tiger. Sit your ass down, man. Not your turn. Sweet potatoes. We don't have sweet potatoes on it. So we are going to write sweet potato. All right, next is going to be for the rando. Who chose the coconut milk? Or who chose the rando? Who's the one that chose the rando? I think that was Simon. I think it was Simon. Was it Simon? Simon, okay, so Simon, you get to choose the rando. So far, what we have on the board is tahine, Old Bay, green olives. Oh, yeah, I think it was you, Simon. Old Bay, green olives, pickles, Twizzlers, Cheese Whiz, Vienna sausages, pork rinds, potato chips, black bean, pimento, Worcestershire sauce, dark chocolate. I mean, literally, it could be anything. I mean, if you want to say like gummy bears, that's fine. Just hopefully it's something that I can actually get. Now, keep in mind, we live in the like extreme rural town up in the hills of Mount Rainier. Okay, so sometimes we don't get the opportunity to buy a whole bunch of ingredients. I mean, frozen hash brown patties. Okay, hash brown patty. That works. Okay, so next is the protein. Who chose a protein? Who was the first one that said protein? Tiger, I need your help, man. I don't remember. I can't find it. Who said protein or meat or something? Starch, rando. Okay. Or was that one of those things where we were just left with that? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so Wait a minute. Squash was where? Oh, shit. I screwed up. Okay. So, who ended up with squash? Anybody? You guys suck as mods, man. You guys gotta help me out. Help a girl out.
First one was Rando, and that was Simon.
Rando was Simon. Starch was She Cooks. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. That's why. That's why it's not making any sense. Okay. Sweet potato. Sweet potato belongs to the other one. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. No, that's right.
No, that's backwards. Simon said meat.
Oh, Simon said meat. Okay, Simon.
Tiger said Rando first.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. All right, let's try this again. Simon, you get to choose a meat, man. My mods are just not paying attention. Help me out. Yeah. So, what was meat? No, Simon, you were the one that was supposed to choose a meat. So far, what we have is buffalo, hot dogs, Spam, fish sticks, chicken nuggets. Thank you, main girl. Fish, roast beef, venison, pork, hamburger, pork chops, alligator, duck. Pate? No, tiger. Oh, man. Okay. Dude.
Vienna sausages.
Vienna sausages is on the rando. You want to choose it anyway? Hey, main girl. She
There's main girl.
Oh, no. I guess she's not here. Okay, never mind. Yeah, where the hell's main girl? Main girl and her frickin' chicken nuggets, man. Yeah, we already have Vienna sausages right here in the rando section. So you could choose a different protein. It could be anything, literally, provided I can get hold of it. But then again, I've cooked kangaroos, so it's like, I think I can get it, you know? Tiger! My God, is your name Simon? Tiger? No, Tiger, now, come on. Someone needs to take away his keyboard. No, the roux was great. Oh my God. If you've not seen the roux yet, you got to go and look for the roux. It's like jerky. Okay, I don't think we have beef jerky on here yet, do we? We do not have beef jerky, so we're going with beef jerky. The closest thing, and we have fish. We have just random fish. So if there's a specific fish, I can write in something specific, but it's just a generic fish. Yeah, chicken nuggets, man. Killing a girl in it. You just know that was main girl who did that. That one, I think she was also responsible for the. No, wait a minute. I'm trying to remember who. Pork ribs. Okay, pork ribs. Pork ribs.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I haven't had pork ribs in forever. Okay, so somehow we ended up with a spot that's still open.
All right, let's wrap this up.
No, I need one more for the starch section
Oh.
for some strange reason. So somebody, anybody, I don't give it. Flying F, who the hell says it? We need one more starch because I accidentally.
I thought we had sweet potatoes.
No, sweet potato is actually a starch, but for some reason I deleted the wrong god dang thing and I don't remember what it was. It was supposed to be deleted. We need one more starch. So somebody, diddleini pasta. You suck, Tiger. You suck. Diddleini. Okay. All right. So now we got our wheel. Our wheel is done. So couscous, coconut milk, Slim Jims, and squash. So that's what y'all are doing to me. You guys are killing me. You're killing my soul. But I love you. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Oh, goodness gracious. Fried rice. Yeah. Fried rice sounds good. my Filipino card would be taken away from me if I could not make a proper rice. Doesn't matter what it is, but it's got to be some sort of rice, right? So anyway, there we have it. We got our wonderful dinner, and now I got to figure out which one actually has the oysters in it because I did not realize. I thought I didn't know. I didn't know. Smoked squash is delicious. You're right. I love smoke. I smoke everything, man. It's like the avocado.
Time to go.
Yes, it is time to go. But anyway, I'll see you all very soon. And yeah, the smoked avocado was awesome.
We're an hour 40 into this.
Hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm being told hour and 40. And I gotta feed Mr. Hangry.
And the dogs
and
the cats.
Dogs and the cats. We have a whole zoo. So anyway, Munchie Mafia. Thank you so very much for coming, and I really appreciate you all being here. And to all the newbies that came, thank you so much for all of your support. Lots of love to y'all, and don't forget, cook with love, eat with passion. Have a good night.